Hello guys, Norfolk Tool Guy here again today. I've got an interesting video for you here. This is a toolbox. Some of you may have seen it on my Instagram. I posted it quite a while ago and I'm only just getting around to actually finally doing it. I was gifted this toolbox from a house clearance from my stepdad's uncle's mum's house. Basically these were his father's tools. And they'd just been sitting, the toolbox was filled up with water and they were just sitting in a shed for a number of years. And basically it's quite a cool toolbox. It's an old Woolworths toolbox. If people from the UK, you know the old Woolworths stores that used to be around. But basically there's nothing overly fancy inside this box, but it would just be nice to try and save some and give them a new lease of life, and you know, bring them back to usable tools. So that's what we're going to do here today. Obviously this is the back, that was the backstory of the toolbox. We'll run through what's inside and then we'll do a little bit of cleaning up, and I'm not going to go overboard with the cleanup and the restoration on them. I'm just going to get them to a usable level. So stick around, stay tuned, and we'll go through what's inside the box. Right, just put my gloves on because I definitely feel like we need gloves for this box. We'll start with the top tray. So it has got a removable top tray, and we'll just go through everything that's in this rusty pile here. So it wouldn't be an old toolbox without a rusted up old drill bit with a couple of screws that have seized themselves to it. Straight out of the box, something I'm always happy to see. You know I like finding these. This is a nice King Dick spanner. Can't quite make out the sizes due to the rust, but definitely something we can clean up. So happy with that. This was quite cool. It's a very, I'm assuming it's a footprint. It could be a copy, but I'm assuming it's a footprint because we don't know until we remove all this patina, as the purists would say. But yeah, we've got I think it's one of the 6-inch footprints, and if I remember correctly, it has got a thumb screw here as well, so it's always good to find it with a thumb screw. And then we have another sort of spanner here. I'm not sure who makes this one. There's a little bit in the middle there, but under all this crust you cannot cannot make out who makes it. Got a couple of cold chisels, got a larger one here. Possibly Bedford, someone along there, something along those lines. But these always tend to clean up quite nicely. It's got a little bit of a bend in it, it looks like, but I'm not going to be too worried about that. I mean, it's a cold chisel at the end of the day. Another one here, in slightly better nick than the larger size, and not as mushroomed over, so probably didn't have as much use. I've got a pair of pliers, absolutely seized solid. I can't see any maker's marks, but something may come up in cleaning. Oh god, yeah, they are seized solid. So we'll clean them up and then see what we can get out of them. We've got a ring spanner here. It's quite an interesting one. I'm not sure if it's for like boilers or things like that, or gas pipes, but as I said, another thing that will give a good clean. Another chunky heavy duty spanner here. Until we knock off the patina, we're never really going to find out who makes half of these things. An Allen key. I've probably got a drawer full of a million Allen keys now after starting this hobby. What's this one here? We have a small Gordon Tools 8mm ring spanner. That must be 8 and maybe 9mm that side, or 9 or 11, something like that. So yeah, 8mm Gordon ring spanner, and that is, apart from a bunch of rubbish, that is everything that's in the top tray of this toolbox. As I said, there isn't a lot in this toolbox, but it is I thought it would be a worthwhile fun little challenge just to clean it up and try and save it. So now we're on to the main, we are now onto the main box. A couple of junior hacksaw frames. Don't really need to do a lot with these. I mean, they're nothing special. They're just a couple of basic junior hacksaw frames. so we're not going to worry about them too much. We'll give them a clean, but that's about as far as we'll probably go with them. We've got a 10-inch slightly bent China adjustable, which is seized solid. So see if we can free that up, get it running again. May even donate these tools to, once they're clean, to, you know, someone just starting out, someone who needs a set of tools to have around the house. Got a flathead screwdriver here with almost a complete handle. No idea who makes this. As I said, we're not going to find out until we even start cleaning up a lot of these tools, find out who makes them. I know there's a couple more Gordon Tools ring spanners in here. So this is the 22mm, and can't make that one out, maybe a 21 or a 20mm. Gordon ring spanner there. So it's quite nice that we've got a set of Gordons out of this. So we've got a 14mm Gordon and a 15mm. And we have an 18mm and a 19mm. So we've got a bit of a set going on here. Got another smaller cold chisel here. It's definitely seen better days. You can see whether these things have just been sitting in water for so long. I mean, you can see the rusty water mark on the in the bottom of the toolbox. I think this is a this is a Honda Motors 17 and 19mm spanner. These always seem to sell well, depending on what I do with this stuff. Looks like once was a Phillips screwdriver from a car toolkit, I'd imagine. Yeah, seen better days. It's going to be, some of these are going to be quite a challenge, I think, but should be good fun. We've got a Draper, and it is 5/8, and it's just a 5/8 combination, ring and open end. We have a smaller one here, which is Draper again, and it is 3 something. Unknown. I think it says drop forged in the middle there, but that's all I can make out on this one. As I said, we'll give all these tools a good clean and see what we can make out of it. A nice and shiny stainless Allen key here. So it does say 8mm on the back, so this one might clean up quite nicely. And another crusty Allen key there. Yet again another Allen key. Quite a few bicycle wrenches. It's a sort of a thin, flimsy metal spanner like this. I'm not sure what this is used for. I'm guessing some form of gas application. And then we've got a lot of these bicycle wrenches. So that one looks like it may be for a grinder or some sort of tool, just because of the hooks there. But yeah, it's like small spanner there. That one's definitely for a pin wrench of sorts, for some power tool. Another drill bit. Oh, another drill bit. Another stamped spanner. Another stamped spanner, but this one's quite interesting as this side is like flat compared to the other side. So it's different thicknesses on the spanner heads. Another old bicycle multi-tool spanner. Another drill bit. And another Allen key. And then the rest is just nuts and bolts in the bottom here. So we'll just take that out. And you know, we'll leave them in because we're worried about them for the time being. And there's a hacksaw blade here. Oh, here's this one. And another tiny little Allen key here. So this is our pile of rust, and we're going to see what we can do with it. So I'm going to move the toolbox out of the way for now. Oh, crash bang wallop. I'm going to get you guys on pause, and then we'll reset up and try and knock off some of the loose rust on some of these tools, and then we'll give them a bit of a wash and a wire brush, and before we take them to the wire wheel. Right, we're just going to wire brush some of these tools. I'm not going to record wire brushing all of them, because that's not the most interesting content in the world. But maybe we'll start with the footprint, so you get the idea of what I'm going to be doing, and then we'll go from there. So if we just take the footprint apart, and the reason I'm not doing it on my workbench is to just save this going everywhere. The floor's a lot easier to clean than the workbench, but already you can see it's sort of knocking off the worst of the rust, at least the worst of the loose stuff, ready for, so it doesn't fly everywhere when I'm getting it on the wire wheel. Got a smaller wire brush to do inside, but I'll do it with this one for now. Ooh, and don't drop it. Also, a bit of new life news to give to you guys is I've just got a new job, waiting to leave my old job, which I've been in for sort of 10 plus years, and I'm now moving over. I'm completely changing over what I've been doing. Well, not 10 plus years, sorry, nearly 8 years. I'm now completely retraining, and I'm going into the civil engineering sort of sector for a company that's owned by my local or my county council. I'm going to be working alongside them, Highways England, to deliver a bunch of basically testing on different road materials and structures and pavements, and doing site surveys. So yeah, it's something a bit more interesting for me, so I can sink my teeth into, and hoping to build a career out of it. So I'll let you guys know how that goes when I start. I'm not going to go too thorough with these, because the wire brush or the wire wheel is going to do a lot of the hard work for me. I'm just going to give it a light to sort of knock off the looser stuff. If I can speak today. Right, so that's sort of the idea we're going for. Just knock off some of the loose, crusty stuff, just so it gives us, we can see what the metal's like that we're working with, see how well we can recover it. Right, I'm going to pause you guys here. I'm going to whip through the rest of these tools, and then next time you'll probably see me is when we're setting up to give them all a bath. This is them after a bit of wire brushing by hand. As you can see, some things are a little bit further gone than I thought, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to save that without putting a lot of work into it. Same with the larger one. I got rid of a lot of the bicycle wrenches because they were just too far gone. There was not enough metal left to save. But then some things like the King Dick came up brilliantly, and it turns out it's a 18 and 19 mil King Dick. Some of these Allen keys are definitely going to fare a bit better on the wire wheel, but a lot of the spanners have cleaned up nicely by hand. I probably won't have to do too much work on them. This one was quite interesting, the one I couldn't work out what it was. It's got 22 written this side. Oh, 22 written this side, and then if you can make it out, it's this logo here and an A and 301. So I'm going to try and find out what that means. The footprint, I think it's a footprint copy now. I've cleaned it up a little bit. It's definitely going to need a lot more work on that, but we'll get there with that one. The Chinese wrench cleaned up quite nicely. The Gordons were probably the best improvement. They're not going to need a lot of work at all, but they came out fantastic. So yeah, I've decided that these were the ones worth saving. Minus those two cold chisels there. This one was actually surprisingly quite good, but it was stored in the top, so definitely be able to save that. So yeah, stick around, stay tuned, and we will continue after the wire wheel. Probably put them through a quick bath, then a wire wheel, and then you guys should see the finished results after that. And there we have it, guys. This is everything after it's had a wire wheel. I am just waiting on some more of the wire brushes that I could put into my drills, just to get into the ring spanners and just some of the tighter areas, like on the what appears to be either an apprentice piece or footprint copy. But I've got them. These are the tools that basically survived and were worth continuing with. Some of them I sort of started cleaning them up, and then I realized it just wasn't worth the hassle of trying to get them clean because they were just too far gone. But these are the ones I've managed to bring back from the brink. So obviously we've got the apprentice piece or footprint copy, which came out quite well, apart from in there, which I'm just waiting on my new wire brushes to do that. The same with the spanners. So these are the two drapers, just so I can get in the ends there. This is that interesting spanner which was flat on one side, and then a lot thicker, like stamped spanner on that side. This one came out OCW 1213, I think, EMR, 7/16 and 3/8 Whitworth. Nice old usable spanner. Obviously they're quite interesting, 22mm with this logo up here, which was starting to think maybe it was part of a Honda toolkit. So I'm assuming it comes from maybe a Honda motorcycle toolkit, due to the fact that the A is the same and this logo here, so I'm guessing it came from some form of Honda motorcycle toolkit, so both of them would have, which is quite cool. This I'm soaking it in WD-40 at the minute because I've cleaned up the overall body, but I can't get the front screw wheel out because it's so tight in there. So I'm hoping that some WD-40 will free it up and I can break that apart and give it a more in-depth clean. I didn't want to go too far with the King Dick because the chrome, although it was flaky, had started to fly off, but that's already a lot better than what it was when we first found it. The 8mm Allen key came up okay. I mean, I think from the heat, the chrome or whatever plating's on here started to sort of discolor, so it's kind of gone a bit coppery there. After the only two of the other, like obviously that was pretty good, that Allen key. The only other two Allen keys which survived basically was two Umbraco made in England, 3/8. I think they're both 3/8 Allen keys, which what survived. This is the only usable cold chisel that wouldn't need massive restoration work, and I think that came up fantastically. So this is going to go in my set of chisels that I use on a regular basis. The pliers, I'm going to strip the handles off these pliers, but I managed to get them to, they're now opening and closing. I just need to get in there a little bit more and a bit more WD-40 just to free them up a little bit. But I'm going to take the old plastic handles off. The only markings I could find on them were drop forged, so no idea who makes them, but at least they're usable once more. And the biggest improvement, I would say, would be the Gordons. The Gordons came out fantastic. So it's most of a metric set of Gordon ring spanners. So now I'm going to be on the hunt to try and finish the set. And then I don't know, probably put them on eBay. Sell better as a full set, I'd imagine. So yeah, really happy. But that is all the tools that I bought back from the dead, basically, and are in perfectly serviceable condition now, ready to be used. So yeah, I want to say a massive thank you for the over 300 subscribers now. That's a huge benchmark. I am going to try and do something a bit more jazzy for the 300 subscriber mark. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Cheers. Thank you, guys.